Sophia Tayo, and you are now watching the industrial guidance video by Center for E-Learning and Teaching Polytechnic Malaysia. Today we want to know more about what is telephone technology and services. And for that, I am going to interview Mr. Dennis Sir, the Head of Business Development and SME of Digi Telecommunications. Let's go! Today we want to know more about what is telephone technology and services all about and how it impacts our lives. With me is Mr. Dennis Sir, Head of Business Development and SME of Digi Telecommunications. Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Okay, Mr. Dennis, can you please tell us about your job and experience in telephone technology and services? What are you doing here? I mean, what is your job scope?
Sure, no problem. So basically, I just joined Digi about 3 to 4 months ago, and primarily my job scope is to lead the business development for Digi. So what that basically means is that traditionally, Digi is a telecommunication company, and our aspiration is to be an internet company by 2020 in that sense. And right now the company is transitioning to become a service provider that basically can help our customer to adopt more technology and services within the telephony industry in that sense.
Okay.
So from a business development standpoint, it's basically to bring in more solutions from Digi to our customers to help them and to have a wider reach and better customer experience in that sense.
When using the device, the telephone device, besides the application that we can use, we also need to have good technology and services. So, does engineering involve in the contribution of the development of this technology selection?
Yes, definitely. So, the engineer's involvement is very important and very crucial from a customer experience standpoint. So, from a point whereby the envisioning of a solution is being crafted out, we identify what is the problems or what is the situation that we want to help the customer with. The engineer has to come in and provide what they call the solutions that can meet the customer's requirements. So definitely the engineer is very important in the whole process of this selection.
How long does the process take from the technology selection and application of the development and also to solution design before the technology can be used?
So there's no fixed time frame usually for a solution adoption to be ready, but in a general perspective, usually it takes about 3 to 5 months time frame for a solution to be ready in that sense, basically.
Okay. Is there any trial basis and the QC for that?
Yes, definitely. So a solution is being developed. There's a few phases that goes through that motion, that entire process. When we started off, usually, like I mentioned earlier, is that we need to understand what is the customer's pain or what sort of situation that we want to help the customer with. Then it moves into identifying where are the gaps in the solution or the problem statements in that sense. Then it moves on into identifying how the solution can be crafted out to work with that particular problems in that sense. So once that's being done, basically after that, we move into a point whereby identifying how the solutions can basically work, because it could be of different nature. Sometimes it could be due to complexity in the customer's environment, and also different industry has different types of requirement. It could be legality. It could also be in terms of requirements from different types of authority as well. So the whole process may take all the way from envisioning to providing the solution, testing, and coming up with a live version, beta to live in that sense, could be about 3 to 4 months in a typical role.
Yep. So improved network performance leads to improved customers' experience. In that sense, I shall say that one of the biggest problems that pressure the technology and network performance is data search. So what is exactly data search?
Okay, so data search comes from a term whereby if let's say there's a certain area where there's a lot of customers suddenly demanding or requiring data from their applications and using their mobile phones or, for example, their notebooks and stuff like that. So what happens is that in a location within a particular radius, right, you usually have, for example, in a typical normal optimal hour, you maybe have like 10 to 20 users at any given point of time connected and consuming data. But what if, let's say, for example, a certain event could be of any nature in that sense, and it has triggered the users to basically want more information. So they go online, they need to check and understand what happened. Basically then from 10 or 20 normal users on optimal level, there's suddenly a data search request coming in from the customers could increase to 50, 100 or thousands. So that becomes a data search scenario basically.
Okay, all right. So especially when people are assembled at the stadium for the
Yes.
football match,
Correct.
or maybe during the Hari Raya
Yes,
celebration, yeah?
correct.
Okay, how's about on the enrichment of the experience via your service to the customers?
Okay, so in that sense, from a Digi's perspective, basically, we always have the situation whereby our network team will always have the operation center to monitor the consumption of the data. So it could have two scenarios whereby the first one is a planned scenario, for example. So we anticipate that on this date or on this time, there will be that activity that would lead to a possible spike in terms of requests. So we need to be prepared for that. And how do we do that is basically we need to increase the what they call data capacity within that area. A second scenario would be an unforeseen or unpredicted circumstances whereby from Digi's perspective, we never anticipate it to happen. But because that incident has happened, it could be a natural disaster that has occurred and people is curious to know what happened, for example. Then that is something also that is unpredicted. But because of the network operation team's what they call readiness, they can basically monitor that situation and take reactive measures to counter that basically. So that helps to alleviate the customer's experience as well.
I see. Okay, that means that you must have always be prepared
Yes.
in whatever circumstances and
Yes.
consequences. Yeah. Okay. Which one is harder, Mr. Sir? Is it the process or improving the network performance and ensure the sustainability of the network?
Well, so the two scenarios are very difficult to say which is harder because it's not an apple-to-apple comparison. But if you to give a choice in understanding the entire landscape of from a complexity standpoint, then I would think that maintaining the network and also giving the customer experience a better experience would be harder. So it's quite difficult to compare which is harder because both of the scenarios are not a direct apple-to-apple comparison. But if you were to ask me and given a choice, I would say that maintaining the network and customer experience would be a more complex thing to do. Reason why I say that is because from a network operations perspective, we always need to make sure that we monitor constantly 24/7, like I mentioned earlier, and also to make sure that the customer get the experience is not something that can be done relatively easy. It's a process that requires a lot of careful planning and to understand which part of investment do we need to make in order to basically have the infrastructure ready for the customer. So it keeps on going because users will come into the network as we grow. And the users' activity around different areas and from point A to point B may always change from time to time in that sense. Whereas as compared to a process to develop a solution, that is usually a fixed process in that sense. So as long as you understand and identify from a point whereby identifying the problems that we want to resolve, getting the solutions that could be alternative to the customer, and basically developing the solutions coming to go live in that sense is a very structured approach in that sense. So that would be something easier as compared to maintaining a network operation.
So what is your measure of a successful technology and services in this telephone industry?
If I may say so, it always boils down to two parts from Digi's perspective in that sense. One would be the ease of use from an application or solutions perspective. Because today is a digital world. Everybody wants something very fast, very easy to use, and the users could be ranging from as small as young as maybe 5 years old, all the way to 50 or 60 or even older in that sense. So a solution needs to be idiot-proof, if I may say so, very easy to use and very intuitive. That's the first one. Then the second one is always the experience, in a sense whereby the reach to the consumer, to the customer must always be there. And that once you reach to the customer, you must be able to give them the experience that basically can help them to basically leverage on that solution in their daily work, or as in like their daily life in that sense, basically. So these two things, one is basically the ease of use, and the second one is experience, is very important from a customer standpoint, actually.
Okay, we need to see that mobile technology actually influence us in our social development and our life, day-to-day life.
Yes.
Especially we can do banking,
Yes.
even via phone, and we do source any data,
Yes.
any information on
Correct.
education or anything.
Yep.
I think we all now have basic knowledge on telephone technology and services. Thank you so much, Mr. Sir, for being with us and sharing and informations and knowledge about telephone technology and services and your experience at Digi Telecommunications. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
The industrial guidance video by Center for E-Learning and Teaching, Polytechnic Malaysia is signing off for now. See you again in next episode. Bye.